there's so much that we could talk about, but we don't have enough time. So I can break it down in maybe three. We talk about a little bit about ourselves as parents, and then ourselves as partners, and then interacting with children. So before COVID, and it became even worse during COVID, a lot of parents experienced burnout. They are juggling, well, luckily for a lot of parents, going into work again has started. But they had the work from home and so on. So many things have happened that parents are feeling overwhelmed and are not quite sure how to be present, just to be able to live through life. For parents who are experiencing burnout and feeling overwhelmed, that might be tied to a little bit of maybe over striving and so on. What do you have to share with them as it regards to advice?
Yeah. So parental burnout is real and it has these three qualities to it. It has a quality of physical exhaustion, things like just really feeling fatigued. You may have difficulty sleeping. Um, you have just no energy to get through your day. Sometimes I use the example of a water bottle test. Like when I feel like I can't clean out my kids' water bottles because I have to get the extra scrubby, it's too hard to do that.
Mhm.
I know I'm getting burned out. So physical exhaustion, emotional overwhelm, like the example you gave of maybe you're just, kind of more irritable than usual. You have difficulty regulating your emotions. That's the second component. And then the third component that's actually most dangerous with parental burnout is a sense of detachment,
Mhm.
of sort of this loss of interest or joy in parenting. You feel disengaged and you're like, I just don't, I used to want to do this, but I don't really want to do this anymore. And so where psychological flexibility and ACT can help you with that is a couple of things. We start with physical exhaustion, tuning in to your body's needs as a parent. And I'll do this exercise with parents while I talk about something called one eye in and one eye out, of starting with two eyes in and asking yourself, what do I physically need right now? Sometimes you're thirsty, you need to use the bathroom, you just need to lie down on the floor while your kids play around you. Actually, tending to your physical exhaustion and your sleep needs is really important for burnout. And that requires two eyes in. But then as a parent, you kind of need to have one eye in and one eye out, right? You need to be tuned into yourself and then also tuned into the world around you. So practicing in your life, tuning in, asking what it is that I need, tending to that, but then also toggling back and forth. In terms of emotional overwhelm, I think what can be really helpful when you are burned out is one, looking at your expectations and shoulds. Because some of the things that we feel overwhelmed with as parents is because we've believed our mind to be true, or we've believed sort of these ideas of what a parent is supposed to do to be true. And so we've signed our kids up for way too many sports, or we're throwing birthday parties that are over the top. And really, it can lead us when we chronically don't feel like we're meeting expectations or don't adjust our expectations. That can lead to a lot of problems, right? So, with psychological flexibility, we actually ask ourselves, what is it that really matters right now? And oftentimes, what really matters is I just need to be present with my kids, or I just need to get through this one thing. And that can help you with the overwhelm of life, of not getting hooked by the thoughts and belief system that your head tells you about what a parent should be doing. We need to adjust. Most of us need to tweeze out a lot from what we're doing as parents and really focus more on what's most important and matters. And then the third part with the detachment is interesting because I think that oftentimes what we do as parents is when we become burned out, we pull away. And actually, if we get more engaged with our kids, sometimes that can help us with our burnout. And by engagement, I mean simple things like just when your kids are playing, going and instead of trying to get stuff done, like go and sit down with them and just watch them play and ask them questions and be present with them. Or when your kid comes in the door, how much physical touch are you doing? Are you hugging? Are you spending time with them on your lap? Are you touching their face? Are you taking in the good of just seeing them smile at you when they see you first things? Those are the types of things, that type of engagement actually can refuel us as parents and remind us why we became parents in the first place. So those would be the three things I'd suggest. Tuning in with one eye in and one eye out to your physical needs, shifting your expectations and maybe challenging some of those parenting shoulds, And then also figuring out ways you can engage with your kids that are more values aligned and more activating of that compassionate mind.
Mhm. I love the three suggestions, but especially the last one, because so many of us are so guilty of that. It's like when we are exhausted and disengaged, we tend to want to distance ourselves from our children, and they can feel it and sense, especially no matter the age, that something is off. So just being present, even if you're not doing anything with them, but watching them and observing them, that's definitely a beautiful thing.